What's up, Married at First Sight viewers? We may all owe Chris an apology for Married at First Sight, the American version. Have you guys checked out the Australian version? It's kind of a different format, and I like the way they handle it. It's from now on, I think every week they have what do they call it? Something I don't know if it was called a conference. I keep forgetting what they call it, where all the couples come together and they decide each week if they want to continue or if they want to bail out. Well, this chick, Ennis, has to be the most, and I don't use this word lightly. She has to be the most evil person I've ever seen on the show. This lady is just constantly putting down her husband Bronson, and he's just sitting there calm and cool as a cucumber. She's talking about, I don't respect him, I don't want him near me. She's using so much foul language, they're having to beep her. And I'm like, people are just looking at her like, why is she this mad at this dude? Like, what could he have possibly done, especially in this short amount of time? And she said something the other week that I didn't even know, that she was hoping the group could get together and handle their business. And some of the other wives were offended that she would take it there because they're like, we like our husbands, you know, if you don't like yours, that sounds like a personal problem. She is the most evil woman I have ever seen, not just on Married at First Sight, but maybe on any reality show. And of course, she chooses to leave the marriage. I mean, I knew that was coming. It was obvious. She can't stand this guy. She's still talking about his eye piercing. And then when they come to Bronson, spoiler alert, this guy chooses to stay in the marriage. I'm like, this has to be scripted. I mean, I'll get to it later about why I think it may be scripted, this version too, but this woman cannot be this evil. She's just putting him down, and even the counselor was looking at her, asking her, he asked her several times something about, like, why are you mad? Or, you know, he asked her something, and she's just like, oh, you mean, am I mad at Bronson? Like, who else? Who else are you married to? And then he asked her something, and she's just cold, like, no. I don't know how Bronson is taking it, you know. He's been through a lot, and I don't know if he is one of those people that feel that he deserves pain or he's used to women acting shady, but he keeps talking about he doesn't know what he's going to get. He compares it to the Hulk, how she can just kind of go from calm to angry within minutes and you don't know what you're getting from second to second. He's like, but when she's great, you know, we really get along. Yeah, but those times are so few, homie. You might as well you got to regroup, you know. Something's wrong with her. And the thing that's crazy too, Sam and Elizabeth and Sam, you know, they were kind of shaky, but then Elizabeth apologized, and she even apologized to Miss Ennis, went over there, brought her some chocolates. And Ennis is just so cold. She says to the camera something about, I think she was hoping Bronson was coming over. Instead, it was Big Bird. She says she looks like Big Bird and if Joker had a baby. I'm like, come on. I mean, that's pretty sad. She's just a hateful lady. Elizabeth comes over there to apologize for I guess exploding. I didn't think she had anything to apologize about. She's one of the nicest women on the show. She was really into Sam, but Sam wasn't feeling her. He likes real, you know, anorexic looking women, I guess. And she's definitely not anorexic. And she's not big. She's curvaceous, you know, how most men like women, at least in America. But this dude is just, oh man, I was just sitting there watching this like, I can't believe this is happening, you know? And I like the concept, though, like I was saying, that they meet each week and decide if they want to stay or leave because it kind of keeps everybody on point. It's like, oh, I have to actually do my best or I may, be leaving the show. And I have to treat my mate right or they'll expose me. But anyway, Elizabeth goes over and brings Ennis some chocolate to apologize. And Ennis says, yeah, I'm eating her chocolate and thinking about her husband. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? She's sitting there texting her husband. Oh, yeah, this is the part why I say it might be scripted because the matchmakers came up with the rule where each couple had to decide who was in charge that week. Is it going to be the husband or the wife? So for Elizabeth and Sam, they chose that Elizabeth was in charge. And so she said she made her husband just like sit on the couch. He couldn't watch TV or do anything. So he's just sitting there on his phone. And I thought, is that a setup so he can sit there and text Ennis all day? Because Ennis is sending him messages and he's like, should I do it? Like, I'm tempted. Like, she's more my type than the woman they hooked me up with, Elizabeth. Like, should I do it? Should I decline or allow it? And this dude, and he's like, she's right over here and she's by herself. So it looks like next week he goes and pays her a visit. I'm like, how low can you be? You're messing with another woman's husband and you're doing it on television. And also, you came on the show to be married, yet you're trying to not only ruin your marriage when the guy you're married to wants to work it out, but then you're trying to ruin Elizabeth's marriage. You can kind of look in her eyes and see something's not clicking all the way, though. She just kind of, not to put her down, but she kind of has a kind of an off look, like, anybody that would be that low and just keep. And then she had the nerve to blame Bronson, saying that he was the problem and that's why she reacted that way. I'm like, this dude's just sitting there. Anything he said was after you said it. He was just reacting. He didn't cause anything. He was doing the counter punching. You drew first blood and he reacted. You can't blame him for that. This woman has to have been through some serious trauma in her life and she probably hasn't forgiven whoever caused the trauma, but she's taking it out on whoever comes in her way. She was talking about when they had the group gathering, all the couples together. She was like, yeah, I'm willing to switch husbands and all that. And all the women are just looking at her like, dude, are you crazy? Is this chick psycho? Bounce this chick up out of here. I don't see how she can make up for this. I mean, she's making Chris look like, he's not that bad of a dude. I don't see how you can just be that mad at somebody you just met. She's mad at him because he was a stripper. I don't think he strips anymore, so what are you that mad about? She's mad because he has an ear piercing. She's mad at the clothes he wears when he goes to sleep. She called it a onesie the other day. What else can you find? She's just nitpicking. She felt guilty at the reception when she found out he had been through so much, and it seems like she was going to turn a new leaf, but that didn't last very long at all. I don't know why this guy would want to try to, fix things because, like I said, I believe there's a clause that they don't tell anybody about, but these people aren't really bound in a marriage like a real marriage. So if it's not a real marriage, why would you stick around and try to work it out when this woman clearly hates your guts? And it's not up for guessing. She hates you. And if it's not hate, it's so close, I can't tell the difference. I could see if he stayed out all night, partied, drank. She saw him with another woman. This dude ain't doing nothing. He's chilling. They went out on a boat ride last week, like I said. She complained the whole time. The minute he said something, she's screaming at him, telling him to shut up. And when she tells him to shut up, he better shut up. I'm like, maybe they're a lot cooler in Australia, but if a woman like that did that to people I know, man, they would tell her like where she could go rather fast, and they wouldn't look back. Trust me. I mean, it's not even a thing of having patience. It's just a thing of respect. And men are big on respect. And I think she really tried to hit below the belt when she said, I don't respect him, because she knew, I'm sure, men are big on respect. So, but that wasn't enough to turn him away. But I'm big on respect. Most men are big on respect. And if she doesn't respect you, like, what's going to make her change? If you've been on your best behavior and she hates you, anything else is going to really give her reason to hate you, because now she's going to make you mad when I'm sure you can kind of see where this is going with her and Sam, because she just keeps talking. She went to his Instagram like, man, he is so hot. And they should have hooked us up. I mean, he is just hot. And I mean, it's a wonder Bronson don't just put hands on Sam and be like, she's a woman, but you're a dude. So what's up, Chief? We can go out back and handle our business, man. Because Bronson's not a little guy. Sam's not a little guy either, but Bronson looks a little more diesel. And he probably wants to take out some frustration, since Ennis wants to take out all of her frustration and anger on him. The girl has no sense of humor, and if she does, it's a sick sense of humor. And the counselors need to pull her aside and say, look, chick, what's your deal? We brought you on the show because you wanted to be married. And they seem to do a good job with the other couples. They all pretty much, they have little fights here and there, but I think all the other couples, besides Elizabeth and Sam, Ennis and Bronson, I think all the other couples are matched pretty well. They seem to be pretty happy. They have little differences, but that's, other than one couple, I won't get into that, but they have their little differences, but it doesn't seem anything like that's so bad that they can't work it out and continue in their marriage. But you have to have respect. And if she doesn't respect you, it's going to start to build on him until he explodes. And she better hope the camera's around when he explodes, because it could be pretty crazy. The woman is just she's not only just disrespecting him in public, it's like an aggressive anger. She's very vicious and mean with it. She's cruel with it. It's like this guy did something. Maybe there's something she's not telling us, but I don't see where all the anger's coming from. And none of the other couples seem to know where all this is coming from too. The doctors don't get it. They're trying to fill her out. And so when Bronson chose to stay with her, they said, we're going to get you guys some counselors. They're not even staying in the same room. I don't think the counselors trust those two together. Like, it'd be fireworks, and not in a good way. But if you guys think Chris is bad, check out Married at First Sight Australia. Ennis is setting it off. She's taking crazy to a whole nother level. Now, like I said, if it's scripted, like, I did find it odd how she just happened to be texting him, looking at his Instagram, and then Sam's wife, Elizabeth, said he had to sit on the couch, so it seemed like that gave him time to just sit there and text back and forth. That seemed a little suspect. But how could you be that cruel where a woman's apologizing, you insult her to the camera? She didn't do it to her face. She's smiling in her face. Insults her to the camera, and then talks about her looks and talks about eating her chocolate and wanting her husband. That's some sick stuff. She needs some help and a psychological evaluation, if you ask me. This can't end good for her. And if Sam has any common sense, I don't care if she's your type looks-wise. You have to look at the personality over looks. And he should see that this is a train wreck coming from a mile away. Why would you get involved with a woman like this? She likes you now, but then somebody else will come along and he's hotter than him. Look at this guy's Instagram page. Let me see what he's up to. Wow. Cold people just kind of trip me out. I'm like, what happened in your life to make you so unloving and cold? Like, is it that serious? Is it that serious to sit there and insult this man? You heard he's been through a lot. That's why you felt bad before at the reception. So if you felt bad then, that you were wrong. So how do you turn back to your mean self? She goes from David Banner to the Hulk in about a tenth of a second. This chick is angry. Angry. Man, I don't see There could be a guy coming home from prison, seeing nothing but men for 50 years on a deserted island with nothing but men on the island. This dude still ain't gonna want to talk to Ennis. That's how bad she is. And I don't see anything positive she has to offer. She has an attitude. She doesn't have a sense of humor. And I kind of doubt if she has any friends, to be honest. She needs a lot of help, and I hope she gets it, you know. Wow, I'm a pretty calm dude, but I was just sitting there like, man, I was just thinking if I was in Bronson's position, there's no way in the world I would sit there, you know, like, oh yeah, she's cool, you know, she just, I mean, what is he used to? Like, if he's willing to deal with this, like, what did you have before, man? Wow. Check it out. Married at First Sight, Australia. They got a whole different format than the American version. And it's getting heated. This is some crazy stuff. This is like this is like a soap opera on steroids. Anyway, hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to donate to the page, my Cash App is jroos33. Appreciate you watching. Thanks much. And as usual, be fearless. Yay, yay.